Hello, Brad Shelkey here at Conversations with Mormons. This is part 2 of Knowing My Enemy. Mormons aren't my enemy, they're all potential friends. My only enemy is the father of the lie. Last week I mentioned that the slanderer has only one lie. The lie is simple, but it's big. He always seeks to entice me away from the truth that Jesus Christ is all of life for me. Life is about right relationships or righteousness, which is God's right relationship with me. Here's how it works. A few years ago, a young Mormon came to Oasis Books in conversation with questions. Her Christian friend had sent her to me. At some point during the conversation, I quoted the Book of Mormon to get at the big lie. I said the Book of Mormon says that Satan would never entice a person to do something good. She boldly corrected me, saying that I was wrong because Satan always enticed her to try to do good so that she would become self-righteous. I couldn't believe my ears. She was only 17 and was steeped in Mormon culture. Yet she opposed Mormon teaching on this important point? I've rarely heard a Christian say this truth so boldly. How did she discover it? When I recovered, I affirmed her wise words, which led to a wonderful conversation about her self-righteousness being her whole problem. Did you catch what she said? The enemy's goal is always to get her to be self-righteous. Stop and think about this for a minute. Mormonism officially teaches that the enemy always and only entices a person to do bad things, especially sexual sin. They emphasize the need to resist doing bad things. So what's their way of resistance? Self-effort really is their only option because they say God's Spirit always points them to the good things they should do. This makes their choice simple. Will they listen to the enemy and put their self-effort into doing bad things, or will they listen to God's Spirit and put their self-effort into trying to do good things? Both ways are self-effort. Jesus said that God's Spirit always points away from self-effort to Jesus' effort to his finished work on the cross. And the Apostle Paul says that God's Spirit is responsible to produce all the good things we should do. This means that God's way of resistance is by God's effort. Mormons speak often of this resistance as a spiritual battle, a battle to be personally righteous. Righteousness is important, but true righteousness is a huge surprise. The Apostle Paul calls Satan a counterfeiter of righteousness. What does he mean by that? Counterfeit righteousness is all about doing good things, but not in good ways. As we talked about last week, this feeds my ego, which is my pride, and my pride always craves credit and always takes shortcuts to doing good. Shortcuts always bypass Jesus as the right way to doing good. Counterfeit righteousness is what the enemy uses to make us think that it's always good to do good, so pick any way you want to do it. The ends justify the means, so get to that end any way you like. Shortcuts are always counterfeit righteousness. Years ago, I spoke with a very active Mormon who would later become a Christian friend. He freely spoke about striving to be personally righteous. I asked where his righteousness came from. He didn't hesitate to declare it came from himself by his own obedience to God's commands. I then asked, since it comes from yourself, what's another word for personal righteousness? He replied slowly, self-righteousness. I then smiled and declared the difference between the two of us. He was self-righteous and I was righteous purely as a gift from Jesus. He expressed shock and asked for an explanation. I gave it simply, and after 15 years, he still tells of that simple but surprising conversation that got him thinking. So what's the enemy's goal? To get you to sin or get you to trust self-righteousness? Next week, we'll look at the Apostle Paul's great concern for Christians related to this topic. Until then, why not ponder that young woman's words that Satan always entices her to try to do good, to trick her to be self-righteous? Is this Satan's only trick for you too? And why not join me in thanking God for sending Jesus Christ to die in your place to free you from any need to be self-righteous? Welcome to the conversation.